Hi guys, this is Natalie from NYX Crafts. I'm here today to bring you a project on a little mini scrapbook album or notepad. Here's one that I made earlier. This is my steampunk version. Just some little notes that you can add. You can store some little bits and pieces. Little pocket for to put some of your bits and pieces. And as a lot of you will know, this is Gorgeous Grunge from the Stampin' Up stamp set, which absolutely everybody's in love with. And just a little envelope so you can put little important things in there. Now this one hasn't got Stampin' Up paper, but I'm going to be using a Stampin' Up one as I absolutely love the designs. Here's another one that wasn't, but just another idea of all the little things you can do. This is a more girly one, I guess, with old Stampin' Up retired paper. Haven't finished it yet, so I've just started. You can tie it with a bow, or you can have it with brads. Totally up to you. I prefer the brads, so I'm going to be showing you a bradded version today. Sorry it's so dark, it's quite late at night here, so I'm going to do this for you. I have prepared a lot of it already, but I'll go through it with you. Okay, so what you will need to start, depending on how many pages you want, trust me to do a black one, you're going to have 3 pieces of card. One is going to be the cover, which should be like this front page, and this is going to be 8.5 by 3 3/4, so 8.5 by 3 3/4. That's the first cover, that's the first one. And then you've got 2 inserts. You can put 3, but it really depends how big your brads are. I've only put 2, so you get quite a few pages. Okay, so what you'll do on these ones, this one is 8 by 3.5, sorry, and you need 2 of these. Okay, once you've cut them out, I have already rounded the edges. If you can see that. Rounded the edges. And that's on all of them. And you should see that when you put them together, they're slightly smaller so that when it shuts they don't stick out the edge. Okay, what you want to do is, this is how I do it. I use my scoreboard, my Simply Score, and I line it up and I shove it all the way in the corner and I score at half an inch. And then I flip it over and do it again. It just means that it can be moved. I haven't done it all yet, so that's what I'm going to show you. Do that on all of them, so they've all got this ridge. I've already done mine, so I can show you. See that line? If I'm getting the right light. Yes, so what you need to do is, if you're using black like me, I don't think you can actually see that. Oh, you can. There's a little C. That means I'm going to put it in the cover, but this can be rubbed out because it's only in pencil. And what you do need to be made aware that one of these, when you do put it inside each other, will be a little bit bigger. So just trim one less than an 1/8 and trim it slightly. Okay, so it fits inside perfectly. So then you know that they'll all go like this. There's a few tools that you are going to need. I'll quickly mention them now. You need a hole punch, one that, if you're going to have brads, make sure that your brads don't go all the way through. This one doesn't, so I've measured that. Your corner rounder, bone folder, definite need, and a ruler. Now I use my ruler because I can get a bit more accurate on how I've measured it. The scoreboard is great, so I start there, but I like to measure. You'll need scissors, and I try and pick some papers that you'll use and have a theme with. So this is the one I'm going to be using today. Currently in Stampin' Up, and I absolutely love it. It is two-sided, two-sided, but I'm going to use this side today. Now on my previous folders, I haven't actually done the back. I haven't put anything on there, but I'm going to be doing that today. So I'd advise you to build the book first. A lot of people probably do it the other way, but I'll build the book first. So what I advise you to do, like I say, you've got one that's going to be bigger than the other. Just pencil which one's which so you won't get confused. On your first one, you can eye this up or measure it. It's totally up to you. I just eye it up. And all you want to do is put 2 little holes, not too close to the edge, and punch a hole. And then do another one. Punch another hole. There you go. Now you can do these as far apart as you want. You can do whatever you like. You can put ribbon through, but this is where you've got to decide whether you want brads or not. Okay, so the next one, which is the slightly larger one, just pop that inside. Now Stampin' Up have got a brilliant item that they've got. It's a pen that you can scribble in white. Now as I'm telling you, I can't find the thing. That's what I need. If not, you can use pencil. I'll just use pencil for now, and I bet you I'll find it after. I'm just quickly checking in case I haven't put it somewhere silly. Oh, I've moved it somewhere. Anyway, okay, so what you need to do is make sure that in the middle you've got a bit of a line all the way on the outside. Fold it shut and just do a little scribble on the inside of those holes. Can you see that shiny bit of pencil? And then if you've got a big enough hole punch, it will go through both of them. So make sure they're lined up inside and it hasn't moved, because this thing has just moved on me. There we go. And just line it up. It's easier this way, then you haven't got to fiddle about. And all I'm doing is just lining up the holes together so I know everything will fit properly when I come to do it. I'm really sorry about this bad camera angle. I haven't realised that I'm looking at it myself and not showing you. Oh, right. So I'd only advise you do 2 at a time. Once you've done that one, then measure this next one, the middle bit that goes in. This should be perfectly lined, so you shouldn't have to mess about with this one. If you want to scribble again, you can. I'm not going to scribble for this one. I'm just going to put the holes in. Ooh, slipped a little bit. Oh, right. Like I said, try and only do 2. I won't do any more if you've got thick card. Oh, right, okay. So you should see there's some holes. Now, if you put them all together, just make sure everything lines up. You haven't calculated it wrong. No, I'm okay. Everything's okay, lined up there. Now, what I'd advise you to do is just fold back the pages slightly so that they know to bend. You can bone folder these if you like. That's if you decide to do that. Just give them a bit of a rub. But make sure you've got them in the order, and if not, well, if you write on the inside, they're actually going to be inside, so they won't be seen. So if you forget to rub them out, don't worry. Just give them a rub. And do the other side as well. Once they're all folded, they should be. I've got to remember to reach out a bit more. This camera angle pants. Right. There we go. So that one's my cover because it says C on it. That's going to be inside. If not, I'll just see that it'll fit or not. There we go. And then they put them in there. Okay, so now just make sure you've got them the right way around. And they should just all match up. Takes a bit of manoeuvring, this. Okay, so once you've got the actual book together, let me move forward a bit. You will need some brads. Now this is where I put the brads in. I've just got some silver ones. You just want to make sure you've got the right side that you want and everything's fitting fine. Then all you need to do is just pop them in the holes, just like this. And just check, they're like, oh, if you can see that. Just like this, and you just got to split them at the back. Ta-da! Right, then do the other one. If you haven't lined your holes up properly, don't worry, it still actually fits in. It doesn't need that much of a hole. I probably should have done these a little bit further away, but never mind. Sorry, I'm trying to see what it is. And then just make sure they're flat. If you're worried about catching yourself on these, I found that bone folders are great. Just give it a push. It sinks into the paper. There you go. And there's the start of your book. I'd give it a bit of a flimms just so it's bendy enough for when you start opening them. Okay. Now what you will need is to start measuring the sizes of these. I've already gone ahead and done them because it took me a while. Okay, so what you'll need to do is not measure from this end, and you have to measure from this line. So I measured that and I've already trimmed the corners off so it fits nicely, and there's a little edge. If you can see that. I probably should have done this in a different light. And this measures 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Like I say, pick which side you want. Stampin' Up papers have a lot of choice, so that's obviously your decision which one you have first. Now, I'd pick a stamp set that you think you'll use if you're going to use stamping or embellishments. I'm not going to put anything on the front of mine. I'm just going to brown off the edges. Now, I love this ink. It's called Crumb Cake. If you get a sponge and just dab it around the edges, it just gives it a bit of a an old-fashioned effect, I guess. Like the old sort of photos you get with the browning. That makes sense to you. I've been doing this on all my projects and it's absolutely brilliant. Oh, ignore the motorbike going past. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. It's slightly brown and tinted. It looks like a bit like a saloon bar wallpaper. I think that's what I'll call it. And just do that all again. Like I say, just make sure the pattern goes the right way. If you want them the same back and front, you just gotta make sure you match them up. Right. These Stampin' Up inks are brilliant. I really do like them. So that's both of them done. And all you got to do is just line them up and stick them on. Now you can use Tombow, which is this. You can use it, but I'm deciding just to use a snail today. I just find that it's easier, quicker, and it's just that I can show you a little bit quicker. Now, always make sure you put it to the edges, because if ever this catches in your bag, you don't want the edges to peel off. So always do all the edges, and then just you've got to line it up. I'd never just jump to it. If you're like me and you like to be perfect, then line it up as best you can. Always get your bone folder. I find it just flattens it. So there you go. Got page 1, and I'm going to move this ink because I'll probably put my hand in it. And then do the back again. Obviously it's going to be the same size. Make sure you've got them the right way around. Stick it again. Ooh. Can use any snail for this at the moment. My order hasn't come in from Stampin' Up yet, so I'm waiting for it. Yeah, guys, if you want to order anything from my shop, you can. I will be putting it in the bottom of the video. At the moment, I'm still doing the video, so we'll go ahead with this. Okay, so you can see which side's the front because your brads are there and the back end's there. You can jazz this up if you want, decorate it. I just quite like it like that. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to do a sidewards one, make sure your paper goes whichever way that you want. Now, I like it on the, like going this side, sorry. Show you guys, not myself. I like this view. It's just a little bit different. You always open a book that way, but I think it's nicer like that. It's like a jotter, proper jotter. Okay, so that bit's done. What you need to do is then decide what papers you're going to have for each page, and if you're actually going to write on them or not. If you are going to write, then you're going to probably want blank ones or lined papers. Now, I've got some old Stampin' Up paper here. It is retired now, but also it does look like normal paper. So if you haven't got any of this stuff, you can use normal lined. Yet again, it's double-sided. And I probably think you'll get bored of me doing this on the edges. But this is what I've been doing. It's a theme that I've gone with, and if I like it, I just carry on all the way through. All you need is just a sponge. We do daubers, which you can stick on the end of your finger. They are good. Sometimes I just feel that the sponge it's a bit quicker, and you can decide how much you put on. A bit easier. There you go. That's how it's looking. See how it looks like that aged look? Well, I'd advise you to be better prepared than me and probably do all the inking that you need to do first before you do anything else. Sorry, I shall hurry this up a second. You can put a different colour if you like, but this is Crumb Cake, and this Crumb Cake is the best for vintage, retro-y, old-fashioned sort of style. I think it's brilliant. Okay, now these are 2 pages that I've already sorted. Oop, this one and this one. But I'm not going to put them right next to each other. I want a different layout. So what I've also done is I've just done some plain white, Whisper White card. Yet again, I've done all the edges, so I've cornered them using the little corner punch. Absolutely brilliant, makes everything look just a little bit different. If you want, yet again, you can do this with all the sides, or maybe try a different colour, depending on what your paper is. You can have, like, say if you have a green one, you could have green, and on the next page red, and then alternate. Well, alternate even. Whichever you like. It really is down to what you prefer. But for me, I love this brown. It really is bizarre. Now, okay, I'll do the other ones slightly later. Right, okay. This is stamped from Stampin' Up. Absolutely amazing. It's in the Gorgeous Grunge collection, and I know a lot of you like this, and I know this, and I bought it because of you guys. Especially Elaine. I see her use it and she makes fantastic use of it. Okay, so if you're not one for stamping, sometimes the stamp doesn't always stick on, give it a bit of a huff, it's fine. Now, all you need to do is layer the design on the stamp or the ink pad. Find on the page where you want to do it. I think I might do it in the corner, so pick the angle that you want. Stamp, there you go. So it looks like a little ink splat, but that's quite a neat effect. Right, so that's 2 pages, well that's technically 3 pages done. Wow, getting through this quicker than I thought we would. Okay, so I've got some more blank pages. I've done some cream, I've done some white, you probably can't even, you can see that now. And I've done a little pocket. I shall show you that in just a second. Like I say, pick which papers you're going to want. I always find that this one, if ever you have something with a high ruled top, always put that as the first one. I don't know, that's where I think you should start your notes. I don't know if you was ever one of those kids that used to only ever write on one side of the paper because it always looked nice. I don't know, that was me. Yeah, I didn't like seeing my writing to the other side. Okay, so lined up again. And with your bone folder, rub it across. See, flat as pancake. And always make sure you haven't turned it around and changed it to the back. Okay, next page. Remember, if you're going to be sticking anything, you do it the opposite side. So I'm going to have my splattered one. And I'm going to put that there. So, yeah, everything's lined up fine. So stick again. Like I say, you can use Tombow. But if you're using thinner papers that aren't Stampin' Up, you can get a bit of a ripple. So try and use the best paper that you can. And like I say, Stampin' Up is absolutely brilliant. Line that up. Is that lined up? Yes, I probably should have really done a lighter coloured paper. See that? Right, okay. So the next one, you can decide whether you have another piece of paper or whichever, but I'm going to do, it's like a belly band, kind of. But I'm going to do it with the polka dots this side because I've already got this print on the front and I'm going to change it to this one. All this is I'm going to put this in the middle, so if ever I wanted to put any like little treats in, I could. But, right. Okay, so what you want for this one is it's a 4-inch piece of paper. Oh, I didn't even measure how wide. Let me have a look. It's 4 by about 1.5 inches. What you want to do is fold the ends. I've obviously miscalculated this. I've done 3/16 and 1/4 of an inch. So one's a little bit bigger than the other. And I haven't prepared myself for this, but what I'd advise you to do, you can use sticky strip or you can use the snail, but I'm going to use sticky strip just because I feel it holds it a little bit tighter. Now, what I'd advise you to do, when I don't keep losing things, see these corners? Just snip them off, just to make like little tabs. I'll clean the mess up in a minute. This way, when you stick it down, you won't really see it behind so much when it's there. So all you need to do, get some tape. When I can find the end of this stuff. Oh, it's a bane of my life, this. Okay, so just stick it on the edge. I'd probably suggest the edge closer there. That makes sense. Just stick it on. And always put the other one first before you do anything else. Otherwise you get stuck to everything. Obviously I should probably measure this, but I'm just doing it by eye. To be honest, I've not done too bad. Okay, so both ends have got sticky strip on. See how long it takes me to take this off. Oh, surprised. I thought it would take me ages. Oh. And the second one. Okay. Now the way I've measured this is just so that it's not going under the line. It's just going to meet the edge of the paper. And you can put this in the middle, you can put it at the end, whichever you like to do. But I'm going to put it right in the, well, middle that I can see. Okay, and just before you lie it down, bone folder it at the one end, bone folder at the other. Don't worry if it's got a bit of a, like a hole. That's what it's supposed to do, so you can put like little notes in. You can like do the edges if you wanted to in the same colour that you're deciding to do. Oh, I've just found that pen, look. See? Yeah, this is chalk marker. These are brilliant if you want to do white dots on black card, which, as you can see, I use a lot of black card. Right, now as I move it, destroy the whole set. Let's put that back together. Okay. Okay. You can then carry on with the pages. What I have done for the back page is I've made an envelope. Now, I haven't fully made it just because I was going to show you that it's all been made on the envelope punch board by Stampin' Up. This thing is absolutely fantastic. It tells you what size paper you need to make certain size envelopes, and this is the size that I've made. I made I think it's 3x3, let me quote myself. 3x3, yes, I've made a 3x3 envelope. With these, you've just got to figure out which end you want where. I'm probably going to do it this way. Actually, no, I'm doing it this way because I've already rounded the edges. Cheat. Once you've done it, find out which way you want to put it, because this is going to go on the back page. This is how I've done it. Okay, so you can put some glue here. I'm just going to measure where I've got that and just put some snail on the sides. And all this does is then just keeps it all together. It doesn't touch the back of the envelope, so the envelope still has room to put stuff in. See? Now you can do this in all sorts of paper or anything that you want, and I've noticed I've just got black on me. I don't know where that's come from, but never mind. It's got a bit of a mark, but never mind, we can stamp on that or do something with it. And I'm going to wonder where that black's come from now. Anyway, I'd advise you just to bone fold the edges because it will sit in the back. If you do use card, it will be slightly thicker, which is what I did previously, and it does stick out a little bit. So it makes it a little bit flippy outy. You can put a ribbon around that. I just haven't for the moment. I literally made one of these today and then it was like, oh, I've got to make a video. Okay, now with these I prefer to put sticky strip on. The only reason is it's if you're going to be taking things in and out, it's best if you have something that secures it. So put your sticky strip on. Here we go. I'm going to fight with this again, aren't I? Put it on all the edges, well, put it on the sides at least. And I'd say maybe across or at the bottom. Now I'm doing the edges. Ooh, I'm doing the edges just because they're going to be the ones that are going to be pulled the most, I guess. Ooh. Just line it up. It hasn't got to be perfect, but it just needs enough so that it doesn't pull off if you're going to use it. I found these are going to be great with guys, with the guys that don't like to take, well, they don't take bags, do they? And you used to see the older guys that don't like to use phones. So having like a notebook, they usually like, or if it's something personalised, maybe for dad or granddad or whichever, or just a male friend, these would be great because they haven't, if they're not one into technology, then they can just go back to basics and write on paper. Sometimes I like to do that, take notes and go back to how it used to be. Okay, so all around the edges, and it's stuck to me. You can see how strong it is. And all you want to do is make sure you've got it the right way around again. And I have moved back again. And make sure your envelope is where you want it. Now I've made this one a little bit smaller than the previous one. It's only because I found it was very close to the edges. There you go, there's your little envelopes in the back for the treats. Now it does pop open a little bit, but after time it will squish down. Okay, so now we've done 1, 2, 3, technically 3 pages. Now here's the little pocket. Now what you need to do is, well, this is the size of mine. I've got a piece of card and, well, paper, and I've done it at, ooh, I've confused myself now. I'm just going to measure it, but I think it's 3 by 2.5. 2.5 at the top by 3. Okay, so 2.5 by 3. And all I've done is I've scored at 1/2 inch. And I've folded it back. Now pick the paper that you want and just pick the paper you want. So I'm going to have this on the front, this is going to be the back. Where I've scored on the edges of just two of them, just cut the corner because it's easier to fold when you come to stick it down. And pull the tape off. Now you've got to figure out which page you want this on. I have found if you have a page that's more this way at the bottom, that things will stay in a bit better. Now you could put this pocket wherever you like, but I found if I put it in the bottom corner, you can put slightly larger things in. Now I did have an idea of folding this over on itself and sticking it, but I didn't. I might do that, but we'll see. I'll leave it as that for now. Yet again, you can brown off the edges, which I think I might do because I do really like that. And you'll see I'm the best at doing the corners now, and you'll learn it as well. Even if you forget, with a sponge it's really great because you can just rub it under slightly. It does give you a bit of an effect. Like I say, don't worry if you forget because you can always do it later. Sometimes it's just easy just to run it up and down. That's what I've been doing if I forgot. Depends how much you want to put on. There we go. Probably put a bit too much, but as they say, there's no mistakes, you make it your own. Okay, so we've done that page. We now have, I'll turn it around again. So this is the front page, first page, second page, third page. I haven't put anything here because I want to put that there. So now, have we had a notes page for a while? No, so we'll put another notes page in. And you have to make sure you line up your edges again with the corners. Stick it again. And line it up. Ooh, it's a bit fiddly sometimes. There we go, and then fold it. There you go, another page done. See, once you've got everything set up that you know that you want to put in, it just takes seconds. And we now have one page left. Have I got one page? No, sorry, tell a lie. 1, 2, 3 left. I lie. Okay, so now the best thing about these plain ones, like with the splatters, you can put different stamps on there if you want to. So you could stamp pictures of, I don't know, your favourite animals or whichever that you come in your Stampin' Up collection. I have got many different ones. Still collecting though, as I love these stamps. Yes, I know. Crumb Cake again, and sponge. It should be called like the Sponge Woman or something. I'm always sponging things. Okay, so now I've done that, I can pick a different stamp if I want to, but instead I'm going to use the same stamp. I'm just going to put it in a different place, I think. Or should I? Should I use the same one? Yes. It's alright, I've just dropped it off the block, and it does happen. You can just huff on it and it does come back to life. But I've just covered myself in ink. Oh, and it's fell off on the page. See, this will always happen every now and again, but sometimes you can sometimes rescue yourself. Ah, well, it's a messy splodge, never mind, but it's all on there. Like I say, you can make mistakes, and I definitely do. And you do learn from them, so don't ever worry. I mean, if worst case scenario and you really don't like it, you can just turn over and try again. But I'm going to leave it because I did that. Everyone's going to be laughing at me making all these mistakes. I know, rookie mistake. But you've got to learn somewhere, haven't you? Okay, so we've popped this on the other side. I think we've only got a couple more pages to go now. And then we've got 2. So, like I say, you can choose a page like this if you wanted to, or a page like this. But I want as many places that I can actually write on, because that's the most useful part for me. Okay, so we've got 2 more pages, and I have only got blank ones. So, like I say, you make your best out of each stamp set that you have. I mean, gorgeous sponge, what can I use out of this? Actually, I've got this one. Yeah, let's use this one. Okay, using the slightly bigger one. This is great. This is going to look like a big blobbing effect. Even though it's on a lighter colour, it's not really going to matter because depending what colour pen you have or what you write in, it's not going to do much. So let's just, and it's done it again. Yes, the stamp has just fell off. Now, you will always fight with some of these. Everyone has their own way of how you should show your stamps or stick them on or do whatever you like. Do whatever you want, whatever you feel best. And we'll do that right in the middle. Why not? There, look, that looks wicked. Some of those ink blot tests, if you guys know what they are. Yes, I know, sponge again. I should have probably done some of this before I started, but I thought I'd show you how easy it is just to get a book done really quickly. I know I've prepped some, but you guys will know for future. Okay, it's getting very dark here. I hope that you guys can all still see. And if I keep in the camera angle. Okay. Facing down. So keep an eye on your corners and which ones and where you're going to stick them, because I've done it a couple of times. Okay, and we've got one more page. So, like I say, you can do whatever you like on this page. You can add ribbons or embellishments or just whatever. But I'm going to do another blank one. And I will... yes, I'll do the edges again, surprise. So you can have different effects depending if you slide down the paper or if you just sponge it. Obviously, if you dab harder on the ink, you will get more ink. Ooh. Right, and right, there we're done. So stick it again. Because I always try and keep your sticky in the corner so you know that you've properly stuck it down. Like I say, you can stamp before you stick the pages, but obviously I would probably stamp before you stick the pages, unlike me who keeps dropping the stamp. But there you go, you can leave this blank, you can add a splodge, you can do whatever you like. But that's what it is. It's just a little jotted book. Can be made male, female, depending on your paper that you choose. This has been brought to you from Stampin' Up, so these are all Stampin' Up products. If you have any problems or you want to ask me anything, I can gladly help you. You can email me or get in touch with me at my Facebook page or on my blog. Thank you very much. Bye.